So here in the woodlands, we like to not just, play with leaf blowers all day long and put up LED lights that are blinding me. But we also like to put up giant apartment blocks to destroy the few remaining trees in the area. Okay? So this is a thing that has just recently gone up, right? It's very echoey. So I don't think there's anyone living in here, but, oh, it's echoey, yeah. But this is basically it. Now, one thing I will say that they got a little bit better is the lights. Now, this is not how lights ought to be. This is still too bright here, okay? This is way too bright for night. But if we look here, let's see here. There is at least let me switch. If we zoom in, okay, so because we're zoomed in, there is a diffuser on it, okay, like a bowl, and the bulb or whatever is inside, all right? Now, it's way too bright, okay? It should be just bright enough I can barely read something under here. This is way too bright. We're gonna check lumens very quickly, okay? But let's compare, let's say, I don't have that app anymore, but it's maybe 3000 Kelvin, 2700 Kelvin. It's like an incandescent bulb. It's kind of yellowy. It could be horrible. It could be even worse. It's, again, relative to, we walk on the other side of the street, and they replaced most of the bulbs here with these awful LEDs. That's probably an LED. But let's notice what's different here. Is there a little diffuser thing? No. Right? If you zoom in, you can actually make out the little diodes. Right? That's the LED, and it's super white. Okay? You can see it's kind of bluish, Now, there are some of these on this side of the street that are still probably the old. Now, this is actually missing. It's a little bent out of shape, and you can tell that it's the old-timey bulb, but you can notice how, like, you have the screws or something. It is missing whatever protecting thing it had there. They took that off, but they left the old lamp, and you can see it's a little more yellowy. This is still way too bright. Okay, this is still way too bright, but at least it's not super white. And, if they reduced the wattage, they did these things that are good, it would be better. But this is the old, I think, sodium bulb or whatever it is, and it's a different color. It still is too bright. It still is, not good enough. But compared to the new LEDs, the old halogen is better, right? This is the same super wide thing, okay? And again, let's do like a wide shot here. Oh boy, camera almost. Yeah, I'm photographing in the middle of the street. So you can kind of tell that's the street light over there, that's really white. But over here you can tell it's relatively acceptable. And if we walk in the middle of the street, you can see it's all kind of white here and it's nice here, right? Like you can tell that it's basically all white here except for one or two house lights. That light that we just looked at, that's still the original. Okay, it's a little bent out of shape. You can see it's floppy. Right? Again, these are way too bright. Right? This is ridiculously bright. Okay. Now I think I still have the lumen tool on this phone. But let's do that next, and then we can maybe combine the video. But that's basically it, right? Is, again, this is the new stuff, way too bright, but compared to this shit, I mean, you can look at how green that is. I mean, look at it's awful, This is morgue lights here, absolutely terrible. Just we walk over here, and again, you can see in my complexion it's a little bit better. Again, way too bright, but still. So let's measure lumens, because that's what I like to do at midnight, All right, so we are underneath the new ones. It is 200 lux, whatever that means. I mean, I like to look at these as relative measures. Again, the street lights that are like the old, really decent sodium ones, there may be 15. This is, right. Again, and at least it's not super white though. At least there's a diffuser on it so it doesn't poke you in the eye. But it's still a super fucking bright. 300. All right, so now there's two white ones here. This is the ones we looked at. And if we just have it like right here. Okay. Now this is what's so freaky about these lights, right? These are the bad white ones. They're 20. So lux or whatever is not a good measure because I hate these more than those. And yet that's brighter. That's a strange thing. Again, this is 15. So when you're like, oh, it's too bright. Well, there's some other thing happening here. Okay? These are two lights. These are the super white ones, you know, that make it really green. Okay? And yet when you hold it here around my stomach, it's 20. Two of them. And that one is, again, 300. And I would still prefer this because it doesn't blast you in the eye directly because it has a nice diffuser on it. But again, this is 300. If this was 20 or 30, that would be okay. Okay? But that being 30 over here, see, look at that. That is 30. That is 20. And if we walk over here, see, that's 300. The multiplier doesn't make sense. It does look more pleasant even though it's so much brighter. But this is just a hellish white. So that's strange. Now this is the one that's bent out of shape, but it's the old, I think, sodium light. This is super bright too, but let's see how it is. Okay, this is about 100. Okay, so this is the old lamp. I can't zoom in, but it's the old bulb. It's not LED. It's super bright. Those ones are 20. I would still prefer this, even though this is 5 times brighter. Because it's not, right, they could put a shield on it. Now let's go under one of the new LEDs on this side of the street that's super ugly. Let's do just one. And again, this is just how bad it is right here. It's super white. And this is 90. Again, yeah, this is the new LED. It's just super painful. Well, let's do another one of these just to make sure we didn't get a weird. This is a new one. Again, close. We're getting very close to 300 here. Let me walk down the street. So that's the other thing is like, is no one checking these? Well, obviously not. It is that new building smell. And again, this is 0. You can still see me, right? I could read a book out here, and it's 0, right? So you don't need much light to illuminate things, so, right? And yet, we have to just blast everything with light all day long. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we are now... Yeah, so this is the same new one. So these are consistent. Now, this is a pretty... Now, there's a street light over here, right? Horrible. But let's go over here. So this is basically the light on the other side of the street, just like that. But this is only 40. Now, it doesn't help that right over here we have this bullshit, but just directly, it's only about 40. It's a lot more dim. I could still read a book or 20 of them. Okay, they didn't fill the concrete in. You know what, do I want to go on the other side of the street? I don't, because this is a pretty busy street sometimes. So, right. Okay, now this is the other idiocy here too. So they have this style of light here. So this is, not that we could do any accurate measurements here because, you know, but let's just try anyways. So this is one of these things, but it's not the super white one, even whatever it appears on the thing, right? So we go about here. Excuse me. This is about 20 something. On the other side of the street, you have a similar one. Yes, that one. But that one is super white. This is more like 3000 neutral, whatever bullshit term they come up with. This one's a lot more yellowy. It's the same technology though. Now again, why do they have to put a white one there and a more yellow one there? Why? Are they colorblind? Do they not know these things? Now there is a super bright. That's the street light. So again, it's not necessarily. But see, look at this. So this is actually probably less lux than that one. Oh, you can see that it's yellow. Okay, so that's the one we measured, was a little over 20, right? This one, the white one, is basically the same, okay, maybe a little under, and it's so much brighter, okay, right? So let me see. Well, there's a couple other measurements because they also created a new bridge, of course, that has shitty LED lights on it. I'm sure we're going to see it, but I do want to measure some things there because the city put in their style of lights. So again, there's no harmony here. Again, I'm not a fan of these super bright 300 lux, but they're diffusers. They're fine. They're kind of a 2700 incandescent-y thing. They're still too bright, but at least it's not a direct glare, you know? Again, way too bright, you know, like 300. See, I think we already measured this one. Very close to it, you know? And again, there's just never any dark, right? Like you get a ground floor apartment here, and then this is in your, right? It's outrageous. Oh, the finish line. Okay, another idiotic feature I have to point out is these double lights they have now. What is the purpose of this? You have a light that goes, you know, up. Why? Why does somebody else's window need a light blasting up? Who designs these? You know? So again, this is the new light. It's about 300. 1 hour parking. Okay. And then we cross the street for the old ones that have been replaced with LEDs. Okay. And this is the insane asylum we live in. This is 6, okay, no tricks. This is 13. Okay, so again, this is 300 over here. It's too bright, but it's like whatever, okay? And then we go over here. That was 13. And it's super bright. It's super sharp, you know? What the hell is going on here? It's insane. So because it has a diffuser, because it's a warmer color, it's not perceived as that much brighter. It is, right? Again, too much. Not good, overdone, as usual. Because, LEDs are going to save us so much money. It's like, well, you know, if you did a tenth of the brightness here, you'd save even more money. Why don't they ever try that one, you know? Here's some big trucks. I don't know if it comes across. But anyways, this big cherry pick, I don't know if we can see it because it's too dark here, ironically enough. Can't see anything now. But again, so let's go. So look at that. Again, too bright, but that stuff is just horrific. It's just this sharpness that attacks your eyes. Again, this was 13 here. This doesn't even meet 13. And it's such an ugly ass color, you know? And then if anybody comes out here and they measure, it's like, well, this is only 8 or 3, or it's not that bright. It's not that bright. And yet it's awful. So the brightness is not the only thing. It's just an ugliness. It's a sharpness. It's the color as well. Now these are the new things they put up here. They have a lot of these everywhere. They're terrible. You know, and of course they put the super white ones. Now this is my favorite design. Okay, I'll do a full, let me just measure it. Here it's 0 lux, right? Over here, right? So let's see by turning it, depending on where you're standing, right? You know, it just blasts out. That's the crazy part. So you're walking past it and it's in your eyes, and notice how it's kind of dark under there. Like you can see the shadow, because what happens is you have, it's so bright you can't even see it. We'll take it off, but it's just such a horrible angles. Okay, let's turn it off and let's do the other thing. All right, so we're back. We're under the same light. And again, notice how, okay, this is perfect. So what happens is there actually is right there, the black thing, that blocks the light from hitting it here. So where you're actually walking underneath, it's super dark. But then when you come out here, it pokes you in the eye. So you can't see what's on the fucking ground, but you're blinded now. You can't see over there, but it's blinding you. Like, this is the stupidest fucking design I've ever seen. It's if you had to come up with a design that makes it hard to see the ground, but blinds you at the same time, so it's even harder to see the ground, I can't think of anything worse. Again, it's meant to blind you, okay? And then because there's the black stuff underneath the light, it doesn't actually aim it downward here. So there's a dark spot here, right under it. You can see the ring, right? It's like you can see the sort of ring. So you can see it everywhere, right? Right under the light where you're walking. It's pitch dark, okay? Blinds you. You can't see, right? And then, like here, it's blinding you. You know? This is it. This is the Woodland stuff. Monique Sharp, president/CEO, is making 400 grand sitting on her fat ass, imagining things to torment people with. What's the Chris Nuns is the COO? He's making 300 grand. It's all public record, by the way. These animals are getting paid $400,000 and $300,000 to design this shit that blinds you, and then you have these dark areas right underneath. Who are these idiots? Unbelievable. It's this, right. Just blinds you as you walk past. Awful. So this is the bridge that was recently installed. Of course, half the lighting doesn't work on one side, because why would it? You know, it's just 2 months old or whatever. You know, this isn't even that bad up here. Well, let's see, hold on. Ooh, a special treat. We can actually see what's inside of one of these lights here that is not on. So you can zoom in. It's kind of blurry, but that's basically it. And again, so this is the insanity of it. So can somebody tell me why this light exists? So it basically illuminates the sky. That is completely clear. And then underneath it does I think these lights are out when they're still constructing the there's another one over there that's out. I think it's because of the new high-rise that they're doing here. But all of these things just blast the light up. But people aren't walking up. So you don't have much light down, and then it blasts you at your eyes, just like over here. I think the super tops of those are a little bit more covered, or there's more gunk or something. But again, it just blinds you in the eye, and then it's this dark. This is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for here. And then the birds are awake. This is it. This is the perfect light here. It's blind. Shoots it upwards in the sky, shoots it in your eyes, and then right on the ground, it's like a dark spot. I mean, it's so stupid. It's so incredibly stupid. You know? And again, these people are making bank on this. I'm sure the contractors are making bank. You know, the people the board of directors here hires is making bank. And yet, what do you get for it? These people can't figure out how light bulbs work. You know, it's so outrageous. But there's one more atrocity we want to, let me see here. You know, it's actually not doing, well, these LEDs, they have to cheapen everything, you know. Okay, let's not break her ankle here. All right. Is it doing the thing I don't want it to do? Oh boy. You know, yeah, I mean, first of all, it's just atrocious, you know. It's not, sometimes it changes colors and it's awful, right? But the point is, that's where we're going to leave this. It's absolutely infuriating what's happening here with the shitty lighting situation, you know? But here we are. All right, so as an addendum, I think it's addendum. So this is one of the new shitty ones. There seems to be some bugs in here, so it's about 13. A lot of these lights are that, but there's one left that is not that. So all the rest of here, right? All the way back there is the new apartments and stuff. But this is the new light on the left side of the street, 13. We've kind of seen these, but this is nice and orange. Oh, look at that. One of the last ones. Again, still too bright, especially here as you're coming. It still blinds you in the face. So again, these are not perfect. But I don't even, yeah, this is so it does have a cap on it, and we'll actually switch to the other video, but even this is like 70. So again, it's so weird that this is 70, and I'd prefer this. Now, this is too bright, right? It's not perfect. Okay, but this is like 70, 80 almost, let's say, 70s, okay, 60s even. And again, this one is just a lot grosser. It's a lot whiter, and yet this is only 13 or close to it, right? And yet that's not too bad, and yet this is, right? It's just this dead, gross light, and yet this is, again, it's way too bright. It doesn't have a good enough diffuser on it. I can see that it's an old bulb and it has a cap on it like that. The one we saw over there did not have a cap on it. That's why it was probably brighter. I don't know what it was anymore. But again, they could make it a little better too. But again, it's just everything is made worse. That's the reality, is you have these just dead, bluish, dead lights. It's just all shit. It's all shit. Again, and not that this is any good. You could see it's just way too bright. But even that, they make this even worse. Like, what, you know, this one's not 13. I can tell you that. Okay, so this is 20 something. It's noticeably brighter. And it's only 21, but it's just so gross. You know, like, I look at it for a second and I see the little dots. It's too bright for the camera to pick up, but I see all the little pinprick dots. Okay? It's so bright. You know? And you know, if they come out with some kind of meter like this, and they could say, oh, this is only a fourth of the old ones. It's like, yeah, but it's not. This one looks like it's some failing light, and there's also a ton of bugs inside the diffuser. You know? It doesn't come across, so there's dead bugs on the bottom of it. And as a result, it's only 2. This must be an LED. It's a very dead looking light. Okay. You know. This is a new one, although it's super bright. Yeah, this is hitting 20. This is an old one. Ugh. It's like I get like a headache looking at these things, you know. See, look at this. This is an older one. This is an older yellow one. It's probably burning out because even this is only in the 40s, 50s. But this is not awful. It could be better. But it is tricky. This is brighter, and yet I like it more. Not because it's brighter. It's not perceived as brighter. Now this is I remember when there was, what was that Grateful Dead concert here? I think John Mayer is some new reincarnation of the band. That was the last time, last summer, where they had good lights in the parking lot. And again, just imagine holding a little after concert here with these dead ass lights. You know, let's see how bad these are. And again, right here, I mean, if you twist it, it's a lot more, but it is so awful. Hopefully security doesn't pick up on me here, that we're right here. But look at this. It's absolutely, and you look at it, yeah, you can, it's 4 quadrants and a bunch of little dots in there. It's awful. And it doesn't seem that bad because, oh, it's 60. Some of those more acceptable old-timey ones were about the same, and yet it's not. You know, the brightness, what they're measuring here with lux simply does not capture, you know, just how awful these lights are. All right, let's do a final old one here. You know, oh, this is pretty bright for an old one. You know. So, and again, don't tell me that this light over here, it is bright. It is so much better than those horrible things over there. But it's the same brightness. Okay? What the hell? Right? So anyways, that's it for now. And the lights are terrible everywhere. So that's what it is.